Matthew 6:11, give us this day our daily bread.
In the temple, the high priest would go into that holy place, and there on the left side, the golden candlestick would illuminate his ability to do the work of God. On the right would be the table of showbread, where there would be fellowship and communion with the priest and with God himself. But right before you go beyond the veil into the holies of holies was always the altar of incense. And the altar of incense was there to represent the prayers that ought to be made before God every single day. As a matter of fact, Aaron and his sons had been commissioned to trim the wick on the altar of incense in the morning and then also in the afternoon, as a sign that prayer has to continually and daily be made before God by the people of God. Well, when Christ comes upon the scene and begins teaching His disciples how to pray, one of the first lessons He teaches them is this: give us this day our daily bread. Christ teaches His disciples to ask for bread, and in asking for bread, they ought to do that daily. The idea and the notion of asking for daily bread is not really to get bread, even though we need it, but embedded in that petition is the idea and the thought that we need to be with the one who gives us the bread. Christ not only taught us that we should pray daily, but as you study the life and ministry of Christ, you find that that's what He's doing. He embodies daily prayer. You see Him getting up early in the morning to pray. You see Him praying in the evening. You see Him praying at miracles and at fellowships and suppers. All throughout the day, Christ is praying, showing us that man cannot just live by that bread alone, but he has to be in daily communion with the Lord, which brings us to our prayer principle of the day.
It is impossible to have a meaningful, authentic, and intimate walk with God apart from daily prayer. A true disciple orders his life and sets the trajectory of his day by meeting with God on a continual and regular basis.
You know, Ian Bound said this about daily praying: woe to the generation of sons who find their censers empty of the rich incense of prayer, whose fathers have been too busy or too unbelieving to pray, and perils inexpressible and consequences untold of their unhappy heritage. You know, in the idea that we pray daily for bread, the Lord is teaching us as His followers, as His disciples, to go back every day, to get into the prayer closet every day, to be in that secret place, not just to get something from the Lord, but rather to be with the Lord. It's my prayer that God would spark revival in our churches, in our homes, and throughout our nation. And that can only be obtained if we are finding God every single day of our lives.